Right. Hello and welcome. Glasses off because I'm too close to the screen. So I haven't seen the football match, but result was Arsenal 1, Newcastle United 0. And as the title says, Newcastle United sit third tonight. So the hard game, I knew it was going to be hard. All Premier League games are hard. But I knew this one was going to be hard because they can want player back. They are not going to want what could have happened. And it didn't. Like I said earlier in my video, Eddie Howe sends out the players. It's up to the players when they touch that pitch. Do they want it? And like I say, tonight I'll watch the game on Match of the Day and see what I think. But right now, at 19:29, Newcastle still sit third. Now, I keep getting 2 people in chat and then boom, down to 0. 2 people in chat, boom, down to 0. Make your mind up. You're in or what? Make your mind up. So, lots to discuss. They're gone again. Whoosh, vanished. Here's the thing. Before a ball had even been kicked, in August, I said on video, third in the Premier League. Now, what I also said in videos, in lives, is this. We now play Everton at St James's Park, and in that game, let's have a party. Knowing Carabao Cup's going to be presented and walked around the stadium for all of the supporters, but let's have a party. Why we're going to have a party again in the last game of the season? Well, to finish third in the Premier League is an achievement. It's an achievement you want to celebrate. On top of that achievement, we have the Carabao Cup. That to me is a very exciting season for Newcastle United. In the hope, players go away on holiday after next Sunday, then Paul Mitchell and others set about the task. It's a big one. The task is to say to certain players, we found you somewhere else to play next season. But you've been a good servant of the club. Callum Wilson, Sean Longstaff, Matt Targett, just a few names. No doubt during this live you will turn around and say other players. I respect that. Now, one of the players I've just mentioned, Sean Longstaff, Geordie, born and bred. But for him to get anywhere near where he was when Manchester United wanted to buy him, He needs a new challenge. Is that down? Is that to another team? If it's down to the Championship, he needs to gather his thoughts and do his very best. Because I still think there's something there with him. However, with Newcastle United, I want new blood. That means we've got to get rid of some of the old. The hope is players like Kieran Trippier, Dan Burn can go into backroom staff. I'd love that. If they, I don't know whether they're coming to that point where they're too old. Each person's different. But that's what I see. Both of them going backstage and helping out. And I want to see new players, exciting players. But those players who I want to see at St James's Park are wage bill. Got to be redesigned. Pardon me. It has to be redone, rethought, because what we were as a club paying Alexander Isak and others is not enough. We get money from Sila, we get money from Adidas, we get money from Noon, and I want others to come in, other sponsorship to come in, to say to the players, we're going to increase things. So the three people like sitting having a chat, yeah, got two. It doesn't look like anybody wants to come in. Never mind. Can't have it always. So what I'm looking at is this. Newcastle United end the season 3rd place, as I said. We're already in next season's UEFA Champions League because we can't be overtaken. That's what I want when I say we have a party against Everton. I knew today's game was going to be hard. Every match is hard. Example, look at what happened at Wembley Saturday. Ex-champions went and played Crystal Palace. Look what happened. It depends on a given day who wants the victory more. Eze, he scored, right? And that was it. Changed the game. Now, one of the players yesterday, Newcastle has looked at, Mark Gahey. Blinding game. Blinding. We have the very first person in chat. Steph Gale. Yeah. I'm looking forward for the fun in Nottingham areas. Are you interested? No transport. There we go. No transport. Now, there's 6 people in here and only one person's gone into chat. Can't have it always. But one thing I'm going to say to you all is this. After we have played Everton on the final game, I want the wage structure fixed, sorted. I want to know, are we staying at St James's Park or are we moving? You know, a person who pays money to a club, membership, whether it's a, let's start a membership, yeah, and then we'll climb up. We're season ticket holders and others. We're paying money and nobody knows nothing. Why? What we got? Get in, get the ladies there. Yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? We all search for that person. Yeah. Maybe this lady, maybe afterwards, maybe. But I'm talking to you about Newcastle United currently sitting third. Yeah. That's what I said before anything had happened in August. I didn't like, I wanted to be right, but I also want maybe more goals. It's football anyway, you know, it's football. I wanted more goals. I got Alexander Isak, top goal scorer, but I wanted Harvey to say to Anthony, let's see how many goals we can get between one. And then Jacob to join in. And everybody else to, Bruno to join in. And be enthusiastic about putting the ball in the back of the net. Next Sunday, I want loads of goals. I want a party. What we got? JR, you'd be glad we didn't win, Paul. Wasn't your prediction going out the window by us finishing? That's finishing second had Newcastle beaten. You've got to beat them. Arsenal are not just going to go onto the pitch and let you run round them. No. Why I said what I said is this. You know when the players go for a huddle in the middle of the pitch? Yeah, just before kickoff, they go into a huddle. Do those players want the victory and will fight tooth and tail to get the victory, or what? Because as Keith Downey said of Sky Sports, nobody in history has beaten Arsenal 4 times. Nobody. So that would have been a first. Had Alexander Isak, Harvey, Anthony, etc. had their shooting boots on. Right. Being second would secure Champions League. Benny, let me just throw the light on. The Champions League spots are top 5. Plus whoever wins Tottenham v Manchester United. So in total, there are 6 spots available. We're third. We are still third as I'm speaking to you right now. Third. Third place. What I'm trying to get across to you is this. 2 seasons ago, I said fourth. Newcastle United did fourth. That's all I wanted. I wanted to better that. And that better in fourth is you're saying to people third. Second seemed a little bit high. What we got? We'll be fine, says SoCal Geordie. Benny. Yes, but now it goes to Everton. It was always going to go to Everton. Always. Just remember, Benny. Just remember. We've scored more goals than other teams behind us because of Alexander Isak, Harvey Barnes, Anthony Gordon, Bruno Guimaraes, and Jacob Murphy, to name a few. So we have scored goal in a game and won the game. That's when they count. And as I've said in my songs, goals galore. We outscore who is around us in the table. So not only do Newcastle United get 3 points, I wanted more. And that more is Newcastle United 1 point more. That's we are scoring more goals than you below us. 63. What is it? 1 second. 63. Yeah. Goal difference. Yeah. Going forward. Right. Chelsea behind us. 63. We're on 68. Yeah. That's 5 goals. No, that's 6 goals because you have to get greater than 5 to climb higher. Yeah. So currently, right now, at 19:44 at night, Newcastle United are third on 66 points. The Premier League is the hardest league on planet Earth for a reason. You have to want it. What we got? If we had one today, God, your what? Benny, that doesn't even make sense, man. I want to check it out too. Paul, have you reacted out of Newcastle to have your songs played? No, I haven't. James, man. James. Can't say stuff like that, man. He needs to reach out. Well, I'll speak about that in another one. So, Paul, the hardest thing on earth is completing. No, it's not. No. The hardest thing I'm going to speak about just a little bit later. This is part 1. Yeah? Part 2, we're going to speak about other things. But this is about today and where we go from here. Oh, yeah, bugger. Right, what we got? If we won today, we would be in the Champions League. Benny, please, count the fingers. 1. Liverpool, yeah? They're at number 1. Arsenal, Newcastle to the Man City or Chelsea. Yeah, who are those two? So if we are there and there are 5 spots available, that says we play next season in the UEFA Champions League. You can't have 5 spots and then those 5 spots, Benny, go to the last game of the season, because like Chelsea and Man City, they have to score a hat full of goals to climb to 3rd, pushing us to 4th. I don't think that's going to happen. I believe, like I said, 3rd. And 3rd, why I chose 3rd, that's to say to His Excellency, our chairman, we were 4th, we're now 3rd. That's an improvement. And when we do spend all of this money, I'm coming to chat in a second, Benny. When we do spend all this money, hopefully it's about 350 million, if not more. Yeah. In with that 350 million, we got to say the wage structure broken. If we lose and other teams around us win, we don't get Champions League. So we lose. So you're saying, Benny, you are saying, yeah, this is what you're saying. Everton beat us on the last game of the season, and Manchester City or Chelsea both pass us by, both of those teams. Is that what you're saying? Fantastic theory. Well, here's the thing. Don't come at me with stupid stuff like that. And, just don't do it. Who said? Me. I did. There's a guy, yeah, from the northeast of England, yeah. He has a channel, NUFC Manners, Steve Rafe. He always says, if you're brave enough to stick your head above the parapet, i.e., you're brave enough to come on camera. Not everybody's brave enough to come on camera. I said 3rd, and I stick by that. Lee is what? Eh? That makes about as much sense as a chocolate fire god. So I'm going to give you 10 minutes to think on what you just said there, because Steve Wraith of NUFC Matters, I've spoken to him many times in the Dog and Parrot. So you're not going to be able to speak for 10 minutes. And think before you open your mouth. Think before you start to type. Yeah? And, at the end of the day, mentioning names in chat and saying, what you said, different day it, man. Different day it. The hope is, after next weekend, everybody goes away, refreshes, everybody. And then Paul Mitchell gets in, Brian Mbeumo, Mark Gahey, Jonathan Davids, etc. So that us as Newcastle United fans, we're going to be excited. Some players are wanting daft money for one season, one season where they've came from somewhere else, got into the limelight, and then decided we want stupid money. You earn it. People they don't get banned, Keen. They don't get banned. You just get like put in the naughty corner. You do, you're doing something. YouTube's got rules. I have rules. And I've got laughy faces. Yay! Ha ha ha. Yeah. Plastic fan never goes to the games. Benny, did I mention in today's live, did I mention ever Newcastle losing? Did I mention that? I think you find I didn't. I wanted two things to happen. Just two. And neither of those happened. So that only leaves conclusion. What you just said, which it isn't the case, but that's what you just said. I said, go back on my timeline, Benny. Go back on my timeline, yeah, and see what I said. Third is an improvement to show His Excellency. He holds the purse strings. He dictates what Paul Mitchell and Eddie Howe can do. And nobody else is there. It's just him, Paul Mitchell, and Eddie Howe. He takes their recommendations, and if he likes it, he writes the money as our chairman. So, huff and puff and all the rest of it. But His Excellency has the final say. And third is better than fourth. Here's another thing for you. Do you remember when Amanda was speaking about the 5-year plan? Do you remember that? The 5-year plan? When she was at Gosforth House and everybody descended there and they swarmed on the place. Yeah? A 5-year plan for Newcastle United. Go back to that day. When was it? Type it in chat. When was it? Come on, Howard. You're not shy. Come on. One is better than third. Yes. However, Liverpool are the champions. Only 2 teams in the Premier League this season have achieved what we have achieved. Liverpool and Newcastle United. Well, Bok's a bit wrong. Which team do I dislike the most? The team we beat 2-0. They're a London club. And a long time ago, they had an owner, and that owner did not care. He would go out and buy whoever he wanted. Spare change to him. No, I wasn't Raw Dog. No. I went to a stadium twice. Never went a third time, but I went to a stadium twice. Upton Park. And I wouldn't do it again. JR, you must agree that the extra money for us finishing in second would have been beneficial. Spot on. Right? To the club than being able to be smug. Smug. Or do you mean like the Joker in the film with the big smile painted on his face? That kind of smug? Is that the thing what you're on about? I don't do that. I don't do clickbait either. None of my videos are even edited. What you get, I line it up for a live, press the button to come live, and I speak to you. And today, come 10:30, I'm going to be watching Match of the Day 2 to see what happened, to see who scored today. Because I don't know. All I know is it was 1-0. What we got? Paul knows about being second. Hey, guess what? Such a funny remark. Yeah, such a funny remark. Now try and do a remark. Yeah, you now try and do it. I see. You're trying to bring somebody else into the equation, not related to the club. It's not related to anything in this video. And now you can just sit quietly and wonder. Hello there, Corvo. Here's the thing. That match sucked. Did it? Wow. Okay. Their keeper made loads of good saves. Then Declan Rice, England international. Yeah, he's a player, I have to admit. Scored from range, and everybody knew that was game and match. Was that early, middle, or late on? Which? Well, Raw Dog. Here's the honest thing. Yeah, I want to be honest when I'm doing my videos. Yeah, people have got over 2,100 videos to watch. Not just the one I'm doing now. 2,100. By this Christmas, 3,000 is the hope. To show you good content, like I did earlier where I was playing guitar. It was just me and the top string, and it moved from there. So, 55 minutes. Okay. Well, you're saying Callum Wilson was abysmal. I want Callum Wilson moved. Give him like another player, another new team to go to. He has been a good servant, but It's time we move forward. Even people who I talk about, Sean Longstaff, time for a new challenge. Matt Target, time for a new challenge. And I'm not just talking about on-field players. We also got goalies as well. And freshen that up for new season. I want an overhaul. Jacob Murphy down the right, somebody to back Jacob Murphy and push Jacob Murphy. Brian Mbemo. What we got? Our moderation team has reviewed. Guess what? Guess what? There you go, mate. There you go. I'm talking about Newcastle United, and second time in today, somebody has come in from saying I'm YouTube. And violation, well, guess what? You're in the naughty corner, because at the end of the day, I'm talking about football. I haven't seen the match. I haven't swore. I haven't cursed anybody. So strike, strike, strike. Like a golfer who has suddenly found himself in the bunker. Yeah? I'm in the bunker. I've made an error. Now I've got to keep on hitting this ball to give it out. And I'm, today I went onto the guitar in the bedroom because that person came into my life and decided I'm going to stick a gigantic wrench into the gears. Are you going to do the same thing all the way through when there is no football? Because if you're going to do the same thing, this person with the YouTube banner, yeah, if you're going to do that, guess what you're going to have at the end of the day? You're going to sit out the entire stream where nobody can see what you're saying. Or I'll find some way, because you are not interfering. End of. I don't swear. I will never use bad language. I'm talking about the badge. That. If that upsets you, please leave. If that upsets you, me talking about my club, please leave. Now, there's 18 people here, 38 minutes in. Let's get some likes going. Come on, fire it up. Yeah? As I said in the live I was doing today, yeah? You want me to go to Europe next season? I told you how to do it. So easy. But you've got to want to do it. What we got? NUFC are sat comfortably in third and now want a full overhaul. Isn't that risky? No. No. Third is still within next season's Champions League spots. And you get extra money for being in the Champions League to add to the money which was not used for Mark Gahey and others. And this overhaul of our club, to say the wage structure, like I said in my video going back last week, the week before, Alexander Isak, 200 million on his head. To make sure Arsenal, the champions, Liverpool, the ex-champions, Manchester United, won't touch him. They won't even send anybody to speak to him, because who can afford that? Yes, I know Manchester City can afford to pay Haaland whatever they pay him. You got to remember this though. At the end of the day, that money for that player at that price, insane. I don't want Newcastle to do anything similar because it is utterly obscene. Right, what we got? No, well, I want him to stay at Newcastle. I want him to keep saying each and every summer break, I scored this many goals this season. I want another few to match that and then set a new record. And I'd love him to stay as long as possible, to climb as high as possible in the charts. That's my own personal view. What we got? Right, Road Dog. I've pressed remove. They can try and come back in. Yeah, just mute them because, like you say, at the end of the day, there's passionate people. There's passionate people who will be at St James's Park next Sunday. They'll be waving a flag, probably 90% of them. I know when I come to St James's Park, I want to hold that flag. Yeah, and I'll pass it to somebody else, but I want to hold that flag and wave it. What we got? How does Paul's tip? I'm not sure what that means. I am not sure, Bok Bok, but if I think that is dodgy, I'm going to remove you. I'm going to give you 42 minutes on the clock. You've got to 45. Yeah? So you've got a bit of time to explain then, chat. Because I think that's a bit below the belt. And, unless you turn around and tell me differently, you will be removed. So what else we got here? How many Udemy lessons have you completed today? A big, huge, massive. I'm thinking towards something for the end of this month. To try something. I'm gonna send a message to Superbase in Singapore. And it's gonna be a very, very strict message. Because some people have said the front end and the back end, they're not communicating. So we'll cover that in another live. This live is about that. Out there. Yeah. Because I want the very best for Newcastle. I can't even pronounce what you've just said, Corvo. I really can't even pronounce what you just said. I'm dyslexic. So please explain what you just said because it went straight across my head like a bucket of water. I am not going. I'm not here. I am not here to have a little pop at. No. If you want to have the possibility of ending this season scoring, basically, I want to smash Everton at St James's Park, smash them, so no other team, Manchester City, I nearly said the other one, Manchester City or Chelsea can nick. Because the Premier League, you are not guaranteed when you step on that pitch, whether it's at the Emirates Stadium, whether it's at Anfield, whether it's in Manchester, or whether you're in the Midlands playing either Forest or one of the teams from Birmingham. You are not guaranteed the moment you step onto that pitch, you're going to win. The Premier League doesn't work that way. And there we go. I think your brother's going to be disappointed with you at this rate. Why? 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 You tell me that. You know, put in the comments. But yeah, I mean, Alexander Isak has only one person above him in the Premier League. Only one person. Who is it? And what team does that person play for? The easy answer. Yeah? What's the easy answer? Come on. Give it in chat. How let's get interactive, man. How Where did I get the 350 million? Common sense. Common sense. In an ideal world, Newcastle United would change its wage structure first. Say to the elite players, those we sing about, etc. We're going to give you a new pay deal. Something which is going to be fair. Because it's got to be fair. You can't do what City did with Erling Haaland. That's obscene. So it's got to be fair. On top of that, 350 million was a buy. Mark Gahey, Brian Mbeumo might buy you. Oscar Davids, it might buy you somebody in other leagues. Why? They're going to be the backbone. We have Bruno, we have Sandro, midfield generals. Joe Linton. Yeah. I want backup for each position. Exactly what City did years ago. Team A, Team B. If you thought you were going to have a rough time with Team A, Team B had one mantra. Beat the other team. At whatever cost. Beat them. If that meant scoring more goals, they're going to score more goals. And I want the same thing for Newcastle United. So they might see Sven Botman, Sandro Tonali, Bruno, Alexander Isak. Team B could be Willisula with somebody else. So in one formation, we're playing one up front, and in another, we're playing two. And you're mixing it up. Why you're mixing it up is because you can turn around and say, when you're playing a match, Like what we did the other day. Keep the opposition guessing till right at the last second. Throws doubt in their head before they've even stepped on the pitch. So, things are looking good. Have a party. Alexander Isak, Harvey, Jacob Murphy, Anthony Gordon, go out and just fill your boots. Everton have just won, but this is our last game. And they're going to bring the Carabao Cup to show everybody in the stadium. Imagine when that is the FA Cup. Imagine when that's the big cup. Premier League title. Because I've mentioned it not once, not twice. I mention it because I believe in it. I can read chat. Who is that? It's Bok speaking to GR. Yes, I am dyslexic. But it doesn't stop us. It's a pain in the ear, but it doesn't stop us. Now, got 20 people here. I want in the next few minutes, I want another 9 likes. You've sat through 50 plus minutes. Yeah? You've sat through that. So let's get the likes up to 20 before we move to part 2. Yeah? Lee, you're on my channel. And as I said a couple of days ago, you either want to be here, Lee, or you don't. If you don't want to be here, please. Doors that way, or the doors that way. Show it any way out. There's plenty of content creators. Yeah? I am just been talking to people, Lee, saying this. After next Sunday, things are going to change. There is no football. So things have to change. What we got? Bok. Be careful, Bok. I'm giving you fair warning, Bok. Just be careful. You're on my live now. No, I do not have any moderators, Bok, or anybody else. I don't. No, I don't. But I do have the mouse held over where you are in chat. And as somebody found out earlier, I am not afraid to use the mouse first and second button. Just remember that. See, you meet me in the street, I am not going to turn around and squeal, shout, or anything. I'm just going to come across and talk to you, and no doubt I'm going to come across and shake your hand. Yeah. So, the facade you put on, drop it. You don't need it. I haven't got a CGI screen behind me. No. This is raw. Right, what we got? Will you be pleased about the news that Keith Patterson will be on the pitch at half-time on Sunday? Keith was the person who began an incredible journey. Truly incredible journey. He hadn't rode to Premier League. That would have happened. That's the honest answer. He, in his speciality, said to them, "You're wrong. Otherwise, we wouldn't have got the takeover." And look what's happened since. How long, everybody in chat, there's 21 people here, how long since Newcastle United were taken over by the Public Investment Fund? I'm giving you 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Yeah. Right, what we've got? How long was it? Let's say he had no impact on the takeover poll, speaking as a lawyer. So, Corvo, you're a solicitor? Yeah? I don't call them lawyers. Jeff is saying 60 seconds is like a countdown. Yeah, of course it is. I said that for your benefit. If you're begging, listen to this. Yeah? Count how many channels after you've been on this one. Count how many channels, which will turn around and say to you, if you like the content, do that. If you like the content, press a subscribe. They all do it. Why? Because it's a proven track record. Everybody follows the same. What we got? Lawyer is a generic term, not what. Not all lawyers are solicitors. Fair dues. So does that mean you, instead of going up, you went sideways to barrister? Yeah? That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, I got 3 likes. There's 24 years here, like, but I got 3 likes. I'm really chuffed a bit at that, man. Right, what we got? Do you know? No, but I have met the legend, Keith. I have met him. And I was very close to the front of the club shop. I was on the other side of the road where the West End Food Bank do their thing. And I got a selfie with him. And that selfie is one of my most proudest moments. I am everywhere. No, I can't say that. I'm not on Twitter. Yes, sorry, I'm not on X. Yeah, because it used to be Twitter. It's not anymore. What we got? Keith once said, a friend of mine, a very what? Huh? And I saw his. You've just confused me there. You really have. So you got a 5-minute timeout because different confuses, man. Yeah, different confuses. I have a picture outside of St James's Park. Me and Keith Patterson, who wrote the letter to the Premier League. Oh, that's better. So, what's Benny saying? No, you get banned for. Look, it's not a ban. You're not permanently removed. What I'm saying is, you're in a timeout because I can't understand what you're trying to put across to us. And what's Bok Bok? Oh, be a reject. Bok Bok, man. You are just like, are you trying to wind me up or something? It's not working. Oh, is it? That's it. Yeah. Guess what? You're going to comment the comments with something as plainly stupid as that. Don't want you. Out. Now, here's a couple of things for you. We're just over the hour. Yeah? So here's a couple of things for you. Part 1 was Newcastle. Part 2, let's move forward. Now, end of May. It's coming up, whether we want it or not. It's coming up. It's a bank holiday. Between this bank holiday and the next, what I want to do is show you between now and then 2 bank holidays. First of all, we all saw the video. It's a short one, showing you Seeking You. Yeah. Superbase are going to pull the finger out. Superbase of Singapore. They're going to pull the finger out. Because somebody mentioned this earlier. Paying for a service. I used to be a bus driver. If I went past you at a bus stop on a hot sunny day, you may or may not pick the phone up and go and go, hello, depot, driver has just gone straight past me, bus number, blah, 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 blah. They will record that and they will ask you when you come in. You went straight past. There's people there. What's your excuse? Superbase are on about all of these projects as one. When the honest thing is, what's the first one I'm paying for? The first one. That is www.seekingyou.org. Yeah? If you can't log in Why can't you log in? Because the back end and the front end, there's just air in the middle. There's air where there should be the API and more. The SQL database to fill that blank space from front end to back end. Correct? I might have got things in the wrong order. Yeah, might have got things in the wrong order. However, why don't you get a moderator? Because the best moderators I have come across are on the big channels. And I could message them, turn around and say, I am going to be live at 7 p.m, 7:30 on an evening, and ask them. These people, I trust these people. Because they don't just do one channel, they do many. Right, what else have we got? The front end and the back end are usually connected by API. Yeah, that's what I said. But is within the API, like the SQL, the database, is that connected to API? Right. Can you make me a mod? I'm a woman. Sorry, I'm putting a judgment in these boys. Oh, dear me. One thing I will say, right? I'm going to say this, yeah? If you are made a mod, then I expect you to have those skill sets to, when people are going to like do something crazy, whoa, stop. So I don't say it. You can pick a moderator from anyone on the chat. Yeah, I can. Guess what? It might have come through. Legal mind. That's a skill just by itself. Yeah. So you're the first. Yeah. Now, everything you say comes out. Darryl, why are you here? Why are you here? I've been live over an hour and I'm just talking about another subject, which is part two of part one. Because we've already spoken about Newcastle United. So why are you here? Are you no, Bok, no. You mean a character from a film. The film is called Finding Nemo. The person you're on about isn't a goldfish. It's Dory, who will talk to you, and then a second later, she doesn't know who you are. So get it right. Have you ever thought about another? There is a Raw Dog. There is a plan. There is a plan, and this plan is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. What this plan requires is something we'll speak about on a live. But you won't know I'm speaking about it because I'm talking around it. But what happened there with that? It happened, you know. But I will say this. There is a plan, a much bigger plan, and it's for Newcastle. Right, what we got? Mind of a goldfish is saying it's an expression. Have you never heard of it? No. Right. Will just ignore us and correct him. A YouTuber can be taught by those in chat. They can correct you when you dive off in a direction. One thing is this. These new apps, the core of the new apps is education. Not just for you, it's for others. And I've been doing a little bit of digging. Apparently, there is something higher than an NVQ, but it involves like a much higher education. Is that like college or university? Wasn't quite sure on that one, but apparently it is there. Right, what we got? You can easily Google the saying. Yeah, I probably could. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Have you ever considered... What is that? I wish I had Zoom. Let's have a little look. Where was it? Where was it? I lost it. Raw Dog, please. Erase your message. Erase it. I'm asking you to. Because there's certain things I can't be associated with, and that is one of them. Yeah? You've mentioned something from a long, 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 long time ago. And it stays in that long, long time ago. Because everybody in chat has probably been young and stupid. Every single one of us. No, it's not because he's a donor. No. I've just said to him, delete it. Rodog, did I just say to you, delete a message? Just give me a hand in chat. See, what I want is seeking you, Geordie Nation, so you can go in and view them. So that means I'm going to have to say to Superbase, oi, you're being paid. There is an outstanding balance. Why is there an outstanding balance, Superbase? Why do you think that is? Why do you think you have messages from me? Because there's a problem. Front end and back end have got nothing in the middle. And yet, within Superbase, you have overview, you have SQL. What's under that? Database is under that. So it's yeah. And when you ask your instruction for CQ is full stack. That is included in full stack. If I'm wrong, give me a no in chat if I'm wrong. Because I thought full stack was just like the way Facebook and TikTok is run. Loads of people doing loads of jobs to bring it all to the viewer. What we got? That was many years ago, and I was younger and stupid. Yeah. What sort of turnover do you expect next year from your app? Enough money to pay for real stuff, pay for office space, to prove it's not just online. There's an actual physical building you can walk into. And one of the things with that full building in Newcastle upon Tyne is this. I'm going to come up in the car, and when I come into the room where the brainstorming session happens and everyone's sitting around a table, I might pick up the guitar from its case while you are talking to each other. I'm just sitting there quietly playing away. Or maybe I'll get the other case out and I plug in to the amp that's in the corner of the room while you're trying to give solutions. It's not just solutions. I want ideas on how we move forward from 2025 to 2030. When we get to 2030, I want ideas how we can move forward to 2035 and keep growing. So, might hire one part of the building upstairs above the shops, then hire the next part. Still the same, it's just got a little bit bigger. Right, what we got? Are we still live? Yep, 1 minute and 18 seconds. Yeah, we're still live. See, the thing is, right? If you meet me in the street, you're going to be nice. Everybody I've met, like from program sellers to people who've turned up in the Dog and Parrots, people who've turned up in Shearers, or what they call that pub in the gate, downstairs in the gate. You walk in the gate and it's on your right hand side. It's got upstairs and downstairs. What do they call that place? Because in there, I hadn't got from here to the front door, and 3 people were like coming up to us and saying, "Yeah, I've seen you on YouTube," and shook me hand. And few of them went across to tell their friends. And while I'm waiting to be served, they've turned around and says, "There you go. Thank you." What else we got? Wonderbar. Yeah, that was it. Aye. It's a bizarre place because downstairs you have your food. And where you have your food, there, they've got dartboards. And here's the best bit of the dartboards. I'm crap at arithmetic. Crap. But that dartboard gives you the score. That's excellent, man. Right. I agree with Bok Bok. Would I also hop on a call to help? Yeah. I get the hands now. Brilliant, man. Brilliant. And do you know the thing is, all right? 2024, 2023, there was no apps. Nothing. Just goes to show you. You can if you want to. Where is the money coming from to develop? Right. Where's the money coming from? Do you know what an exchange is? Is that? Yeah. JP, do you know what an exchange is? Yes or no? Hmm? Yes or no? There were. So Jeff is saying there were apps in 2023. Right. Jeff, I was going through an extremely bad time in 2023. Extremely. I wouldn't have had time to have a thought on an app. I might have done a website. A website's possible, but not an app. And the website is likely to be, it's likely to be something on Canva. If it is, it's likely to be there. And Benny is saying, get a job. Get a job. Okay. You've got, yeah, I have got that in the bank, yeah. But do you want to know something? Benny, Harvey, do you want to know something? Of all these different things I speak about, apps, other things, yeah, I speak about them in my videos. Let's go to the other side of the street. Benny. The other side of the street, like JP was asking earlier. If I log into an exchange that I'm a member of, if I log into that exchange and I put ETH to something else, I can say to the community, millions and millions of people, I can say to them, here's a block. It's called 32K. Give me a yes or give me a no in the vote. If they give me the yes, I can set a price or let it roll like you would roll a dice. I want to set the price. If that's possible and I can do that, that price goes to the market. That is the funding for a project. So that's where the funding comes from. You go to the market with something and you ask them to vote yes or no. And everyone's going, no, 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 no. You are not part of that market. Because if you were part of that market, yeah, if you were, you're in chat, you would read what it says on that thing which is on that exchange, and you wouldn't go, no, cool, no, Lusta, no, Benny, no, INU, who, and no, Bok. Because you'd look at it and you think, it is going to be hard, but nothing is impossible. And that's the honest answer. Nothing's impossible. Take a think of this. 80, 90 years ago, planes didn't fly in the sky. Rockets didn't go into orbit. International Space Station 90 odd years ago wasn't there. It is now. Think about it. What if you don't get the market? All I have to do, I log in, I bring money in my wallet. I put the money into Waves and I exchange it. Then I say to everybody on Waves through the community badge, here is a product, give me that or give me that. And I'm going to offer you 10,000, 20,000, or as high as I dare go without somebody in there saying, whoa, you can't do that. Because that's how it works. You're not only asking them for their vote, you're like saying to them, you're going to get this if you vote yes. And if enough of them vote yes, it goes on to the market. The backup plan. You already know it. You already know the backup plan. Did you see a video? Did anybody here, there's 16 people here, did any of you see a video for Seeking You the other day? Anybody? Paul, was it Stevie G? Paul, with respect, I think comparing the International Space Station to an app being headed by a man who openly admits he can't deduct the scores from a game of darts is a bit of a sketch. Hey, it's being honest. If whoever was the first person in my chat, whoever was the first person to say AI is going to go, where's past you? I have no idea. I couldn't tell you who that person was. But they put me onto something which is frustrating. Yes, it is. But there is still a page online www.seeking-u.org. Try and get into it. I've tried. I failed miserably. You try. Go on. You try. We're on 1 hour and 30 minutes. 2 minutes. Go on. Rush and try and create an account on Seeking You. I dare you. Because if I can't do it, I don't think you can either. Right, what we've got? Somebody's asking somebody, are they AI? I.e. Jeff is asking somebody if they are AI. I still don't know. The backup plan, Paul. The backup plan. Can everybody hear what I'm saying? Can you all hear in chat what I'm saying? Where I'm not talking about apps. I'm talking about something outside of apps. Yeah? Can you all hear? Yeah, Steve. Yeah, I'm passionate. The reason why I'm passionate, I was born here. Right there. I was born there. I don't live there now. I play music, which I am really passionate about. Yeah. That's what I did earlier today. Somebody came into my life today and tried to put a great big monkey wrench in the gears, upset me, and I just decided, right, fair enough. Wasn't sure, came off, went back into the bedroom, went live, me, my guitar, and that was it. There wasn't any singing. And then there was singing. So this is the real me. When I pick the guitar's bloody heavy, man. It is. Like, I'm like this, you know. I'm leaning to one side because I'm thinking, go, better, man, this thing's heavy. The Washburn I had years and years ago, no, it wasn't. Sunburst effect, but somebody had battered the paint off it. Sunburst, beautiful sunburst effect, and they chipped it and bashed it and crimped it and had to strip it, repair it. I don't understand the backup plan. The title of the live starts with, okay. Any news on your legal team? No, because here's the thing. Yeah, I do know this. I do. I've got some knowledge. It's this. If I want to put something to the FCA based in London, it's going to cost me 25 grand to do that. If I wanted to put one of these apps onto, eventually, FTSE 100, that's going to cost. On top of that cost is legal representation. As Corvo, who is now a moderator, these people are expensive. That's why they drive nice, big, beautiful cars and have beautiful houses. They've earned it. What does your brother think about these daft ideas? Well, Benny, I've read your words out. Sometimes I will read your words out, sometimes I won't. Just remember this. Be nice. Not everybody can cope with ideas. Example. cleared the first part of learning Microsoft language. Yeah, DOS, that sort of thing. From that to buying a old 386 laptop and moving forward, I thought I'll do that and try and learn. You could make a 4-course meal by the time it loads up. So that tells you it's mega, mega slow. 386. Then 486 came out. And then we started to climb to 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So a G-Wagon's it's a good car. But I would say for somebody in the legal profession, Mercedes, BMW. I could be wrong though. You know what I mean? Didn't answer my question. What is your brother thinks? I did. I say some people understand what you're trying to do. Some people it's like chucking a bucket of water. Someone chucks a bucket of water at you, you duck. Then you duck because you didn't want to get hit with the water. Yeah? Some people don't understand. Now, choosing to answer questions posted to other chat users instead of those directed to him. Not even sure what that is. So you're British. Yes. Newcastle upon Tyne is firmly within the British Isles. Yeah. What, the Geordie accent? Yeah. The Geordie accent does come out in a few of me songs. But what a horrible thing to say. What a horrible thing to say. A surgeon is a very high skilled occupation. I don't know why you put that, Bert. I don't. But please remove it. Yeah. Because I believe that there are some people who are extremely highly skilled. And one of those definitely fits that bill. Right, okay. Right. Guess what? Being live 1 hour and 38 minutes. Thank you all. Thanks to the new moderator, IL Corvo, chosen tonight. Hopefully, you can keep everybody in check. And there could be a few more come the next 2 weeks. You never know. So, very true. Not all heroes do wear capes. I couldn't wear a cape because I probably think I'm going to fly and I'll fly on my backside. But yeah. Yeah, well, Jeremy, you only pay for something. Like, this is my grief with Superbase. I paid good money. I've got something I can see. I can't go in it. Why can't I go in it? Because front end and back end, There's no in the middle. That is the job of them on Supabase. Because when you go onto Supabase, it tells you overview, SQL, database, and then it keeps going down and down and down. You wouldn't have that in your business if it wasn't a role. Anyway, pixel art is still on my computer, but pixel art is still, it's actually on the bottom bar. And there are 18 different images on pixel art where I've zoomed right in. I think 150, 200% or something like that. And it's addictive. It really is addictive. The only problem is you're so close to the computer screen. But yeah, it's addictive. Paul knows business a lot better than any of you. I'd rather believe Paul. Well, thank you for that. Because where I'm coming from is this. Yeah. Build a site. You can all see the site. What you can't do is get into the damn thing. Now, if I've got a problem with seeking you can't get into it. What is the chances Geordie Nation is going to do the same thing? What is the chances? That's why they're on GitHub. They're on there. So you ask. Ask. And if you think you can do it, clean it. Yeah. If we can hit the road running with Seeking You, Geordie Nation, never mind the one which I did the other day. What a car crash that was. 1 second, because it's getting a bit dark here. 1 second. Oh, eat my lord. Oh, ow, ow, ow. Apologies. My left knee needs something strong. Oh. But here's the thing. Yeah. Seeking You can look at it. You can't enter it. What's the chances? The other one. www.geordienation.co.uk is going to be exactly the same. Am I going to spend to get both of them done and dusted? No. Because if one don't work, what's the chance the other one's going to work? Here's the thing for you. I asked a question. Replit. REPLIT. I asked it a question. It didn't even give me anything. Nothing at all. And guess what it asked me? It says, nothing on the other side of the screen. Nothing at all. A circle, red circle with an arrow. Nothing other than that. And do you know what it said to us? I thought, you cheeky. It asked me to upgrade to $25 a month. There's nothing there to show something to upgrade but it said upgrade. And it got 3 prompts. That was it. If you keep your prompts down to the bare minimum, it was a big one, about this big. First one, second, and then third, because I could see at the top of the screen, it gives you 0 to 10. Yeah. Okay. I'm literally a quantum computer developer, and even Paul is ignoring me. Hey up, chippers! How you doing? Well, message me. Lucinda Rotary, message me. I'm struggling with your name, but message me. Hi up, Dave. How you doing, mate? I've been live for 1 hour and 43 minutes, and we spoke football to start with. But ploughing forward, the hope we can do too. We can do the apps. The apps are in GitHub. You already know that. I've said it in video. So the apps are in GitHub. Have a look. Are you wondering where? The easiest piece of cheese to leave you. My name. Search my name on GitHub, and it'll come up with my name, and it'll also come up with Geordie dash Paul. Because I want things to be as simple as possible for you to find. See, years and years ago, my nana said to me, keep it simple. Don't make it really, really hard, because people aren't going to understand. So just keep it simple. In the core of these apps is jobs for you. If you want the job. If you don't want the job, don't apply for it. Pond. Keep it simple. Making 6 apps with no coding knowledge. In a video, Adult Learning, it speaks about code from different places. It also speaks about We Are No Code. They can be found here on YouTube. We Are No Code. Christian from We Are No Code will no doubt be in the video. He's a wonderful person. He's American, but he's a wonderful person. He knows how technical it can be. What we got? You should Google the definition of project scope creep. Okay. The definition of project scope creep. Where was it? Where was it? Somebody just said in chat, but I was looking for something else. Somebody just said in chat, the repositories on GitHub are private. Hallelujah. You're very right. They are private. You've got to make a request. And if what you said in chat is correct, quantum computing and building, your knowledge will have took you through GitHub at some point. So you will know GitHub like the back of your hand. Yeah? Like I know the fretboard when I've got my eyes shut. Yeah? My eyes are shut, but I still know where my fingers are going. So ask, make a request. You make a request, it shows GitHub you want to help. That's what I want, you to help. So, you know the main challenge, you know the backup, you know where the backup is. If you don't, go back through the video, and when I come to that segment, stop it, pause it, listen, stop it again, and then go check GitHub. Clean the code so that it can run. You clean the code so it can run. We're all happy. We can all go in and create an account. We can all do things on Seeking You, then Geordie Nation, and then as a thank you for you doing that, it's going to come up on GitHub that you have put forward something. I have acted upon that something, and you get more than me talking about you on video. You get much more. Now, you can request. You can. It says private for a reason, because you have to send a request. If a lad from Instagram can send me a request, what's stopping you? What's stopping you? You see, you send a request and I give you a yes, and if you can't do, like, look at the code, clean the code, why were you there in the first place? That would be my first reaction. If you cannot clean what's there, I would ask that question. Why are you asking? Because I wouldn't ask a person to build a house who did not have bricklaying skills. Let's say he was a carpenter. I wouldn't turn around and say, there's loads of wood, build me a house. I want that house to be strong. Bricks and mortar. Do you know what the problem is with Seeking You? The other ones which are private, they may have an issue I don't know about, because I set it to private on there. So those with gifts, with skills, get in there. Now, thank you, all of you wonderful people. Thank you. Nearly 2 hours. Thank you. We'll talk more because football ain't going to be here for long. So we'll talk more. You will listen when I'm playing guitar. Yeah? You will listen when I'm playing guitar this afternoon and I bring voice into it. So have a beautiful evening. And if you can, send a request on GitHub and I'll let you in. If you can solve it. That's the problem. You've got to solve it. If you can, excellent. Sniff, drink, and eat, sleep, live, repeat. That is the day after tomorrow. Good film, though. Yeah. So, thank you for all for being here. On your way out, give me one of them and enjoy the rest of your evening.